Alright, I'm going to show you how to do the 1-point perspective boxes. So you're going to need your sketchbook, and you're going to want to flip to an empty page in your sketchbook. Your empty page is going to be horizontal, and what you're going to do is you're going to split your page in half with a horizon line or a horizontal line. So that means I'm going to take my ruler. It can be exactly in half, it is up to you. I'm just going to estimate, and I'm going to draw a line splitting it in half. I'm going to label this HL, which means horizon line, and then I'm going to put a dot at the center of that line. The first thing that we're going to do with 1-point boxes is we're going to make that true shape, and the true shape in this case is either going to be a square or a rectangle. I'm going to make a box above the horizon line, so I'm going to guesstimate about a rectangle above the horizon line. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact, but you want to make sure that it is nice and square and even all the way around. I forgot to mention this before, but you need to label this dot VP. Next thing I'm going to do is line up these 3 corners with the vanishing point that we made in the center. So I'm going to line up the corner with the vanishing point, and then I'm going to draw a diagonal line across. Do the same thing with the next corner, line it up with the corner, with the vanishing point, and draw a diagonal line across. Top corner, line it up with the vanishing point, draw a line across. You should have 3 diagonal lines that are connecting up those corners with the vanishing point. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a horizontal line that connects up this diagonal and this diagonal to make the bottom of the box. Something important you want to do is make sure that your horizontal line is parallel with the line that you already have. I don't want to see any of your rulers going like this and drawing a line. It needs to be parallel with the line that you made previously. So now this line is parallel with that line. And to finish up my box, I'm going to draw a vertical line from this corner to the top diagonal line. And same thing, it needs to be parallel with this line that you already have. And now you have a box. I highly recommend that you just erase those diagonal lines that you made, just so you can really visualize your box. So now I have one box done. I'm going to do a box below the horizon line, and it is very similar to what we did with a box above the horizon line. So the first thing we start with is a true shape. Once I have my rectangle or my square, I'm going to line up these 3 corners with the vanishing point. Once I have these 3 diagonal lines, I'm then going to add that horizontal and vertical line to close up the box. Remember, you're making these lines parallel with one another. Now that my box is all closed up, I'm going to erase those reference lines from before. And now I have a box below the horizon line. The last box that I'm going to show you is when we draw a box that is directly on the horizon line, since it is different from what we did above and below. So I'm going to make a box on that horizon line, same way as we did before. Alright, rather than lining up 3 corners, we only have 2 corners that we need to line up. This bottom corner and this top corner. So, I'm going to line it up with the vanishing point. And I'm going to connect up those corners. So now we only have 2 diagonal lines. The reason why we are not connecting up these corners is because if we do, it's just going to go behind the box and we're going to have to erase it anyways. So we only do 2 of those corners. Last thing we need to do is just draw 1 vertical line that's parallel with the previous vertical line that we had, and then erase those reference lines. Sometimes when you draw a box above or below directly from the vanishing point, you're going to have the same method that just happened. You're only going to have 2 of those diagonal lines, so keep that in mind. Now that you have 3 boxes on your paper, you're going to be drawing 7 to 8 of them on your own. You can use the example that is in Google Classroom, or you can just make them up as you go.